Namaste. I welcome you all to the video lecture series of DBMS Practical. My name is Drashti Gardaria and I am faculty at ICT Marwadi University. Let me start with the unit number 11. Let me share my screen. In the last lecture, we have seen how we can calculate the factor in the triangle number using the cursor. Today, we will see what is Windows function and how we can use the Windows function in solving the problem. First of all, Windows function is nothing but a one type of calculation mechanism in which you can see row related filter on whenever we are doing specific row operation, we are at a specific stage and that is known as a current location. Okay, the current row detail we have to able to fetch with the help of Windows function, as well as we are able to check the what is the previous value and what is the next value with the help of lag and lead. Lag will give you the previous row record and the lead will give you the detail about the upcoming row record. Okay, and I will give you the application where we can use these functions. Now, how the Windows function is different from the group by. So group by will do what? Group by will create some type of you can say concatenation, and there the data will be compressed. So the original data we are not able to get after the group by because there are some of the column that we cannot access. But here in Windows function that was not a constraint because we are not concatenating the data. We just have to we are on the data and we are just using the different lens to look at the picture. Just understand the terminology that we use in this Windows function. First annotation that we use is a over. Whenever you find the over, you are able to say that here we use the Windows function. Without the over, you cannot create a Windows function. Fine. Now in an over function, there are two parameters that is optional. If you want to set, you can set. First parameter is a partition by. Here you are making similar to the group by constraint that on which group specific column you want to make a partition. Consider you have a different city name, so you want to make a bunch of different cities. So here you write down partition by city. Now in a city there can be a case that you want to make a ordering based on specific column, and in that what will happen here, as you can see, there are five rows, and in these 5 rows they will be ordered based on the column that are be provided. Fine. So here partition by and the order by are the two things that we can use inside my over are the aggregate function. Row number, rank, dense row. What is dense row and what is row? So you here you can identify what was the difference between these two. When I say rank means they want to calculate what was the rank, and if it is a similar amount 95 95, they keep the rank 3. And if you don't want this way of ranking, you use the dense ranking. Dense ranking means here none of the number will be skipped. Okay, but here if you have a total 10 record, the last rank is always 10. But here it is in a dense record, there can be case that multiple record are having the same value, then your total ranks maximum count will not go to the 10. Fine. So based on your requirement, you can choose you want to use a rank or a dense rank. Now as I explained what is a lag and what is lead. Lead means that the row values that we have not used till now. So Windows function is easy to understand after we use the cursor, because a similar concept we are using in a cursor that we are at specific current location, and from that current location I am able to view the previous as well as I am able to see the next data. Okay, so Windows have the facility and that's why we are able to do this thing. Explain what is aggregate function that we can use with the Windows function is, here you have seen the count, you have seen the sum, you have used the average, all these things you can use with the Windows function. But in a Windows function we can use a aggregate function without a group by. In a last lecture I already had explained you that triangle value or a factorial value, can we perform this type of operation without using the cursor, yes or no? Let me check in this video lecture that we are able to possible to perform that task or not. Before I start with that, let me show you one more thing. That is, I want to perform a sum operation, but what will happen in a sum operation is, let me show you the data that I'm having right now. This is the sales data, and in this sales data we have this query records. Fine. There are multiple users and there are the category of the devices, and this is the purchase date, and this is the amount they spent on that purchase. Fine. Now in this data I want to make a sum of all the value that have been utilized in a by that users. How can I do this thing? I want to make a final total of how much purchase had been happened in that store. For that I can use a select query, select sum, this is my amount column, and from sales data. Okay, and here we have getting some value because it is not been performed by any partition. But if I want to do the same thing with the specific user, that's Alice have spent how much on a purchase, how the Bob had spent on specific purchase, how the Charlie will spend on to all the purchase they have Charlie had done, I want to make a total of that. How can I do this thing? With the help of group by, yes or no? Let me do this thing again. Group by and then the username. This is my column name that I want to make a bunch on a username, and this sum will be happen on a what? On specific user. Now what you can able to see is here, Alice had spent this much amount on their purchase, Bob had spent, this is the total amount that they have spent on a purchase. So without the group by, can I do the same thing without the help, without using the group by? Yes, with the help of Windows function I can use this thing. How can I use? Let me show you this thing. Here we cannot use a star. Can you think we can able to use a star instead of this? If I run this query that I require all the record, other than that, that is not possible in a group by. But here in a Windows function it is possible. Why? Because we are not concatenating the data. That's why I'm able to perform a star extraction. Star means everything from the table. Select star from, what are the table name? That is my table name is, my table name is sales data. And here I don't have to provide anything here, but here what I have to do, I have to write down that I want to perform a sum of amount, but here I use the function over. If I don't mention anything inside my over, what will happen? Let me show you. This is the result. Yes, so what you're able to see here is, this is the amount that all the user have spent. If I don't mention anything in a partition criteria or a order by criteria, they will show you this type of sum. But what was the advantage is, if my requirement is to check all the sum of all the purchases, then this is the appropriate way to calculate. Yes, but here I'm not missing the data that are showing right now. Okay, so star giving all the table data, as well as this is the last column that are added with the help of this Windows function. Now I want to perform the same thing that I have able to perform here. What was happened here? The specific user and their purchase amount. So how can I do this with the help of Windows function? But here I don't want to miss the which category, which date, all the data I also want to see. That is possible here. Yes, so what should I write here? Partition by, what is the name of this is the column name. Let me run this line. So here what you can able to see here, the total of all the Alice have spent 3350, Bob had spent 536, and Charlie had spent 3200. Fine. So these are the amount that have been sent by the Charlie's, Bob and Alice. Here what you can able to see here is, you are able to see some of this three transaction, 2100450 This total is nothing but a 3350. But I want to make a running total. Running total means I want to create a total where the user the data will be shown in a form of on the first purchase, this is the spend. After the second purchase, total spend on specific user is first purchase plus second purchase. How can I do this thing? If I want to make a total of continue transaction, consider I have purchased 3 times in a single month, then at the end of the month I have spent this much amount in that specific store. So this is nothing but known as a running total. If I want to perform that thing here, then how can I able to perform? With the help of order by. You can see order by, and then I use the date as my sorting criteria. Okay, this is my column name, purchase date. Let me run this part. Okay, what you can able to see here, what you able to see here is the running total. Running total means on the this is the month detail and this is the date detail. So on the 5th January, the Alice had spent 2100, and on the 12th January, Alice had spent 450. So on the 12th of January, what we can able to say is this much amount had been spent by the Alice on that specific store. Fine. So this way we can able to find out the running total. Okay, now you can ask, ma'am, I want to perform this thing but in a reverse order. How can I do? Just simply use the, here you can use the descending value. So what will happen? It will be sorted in a reverse. So in a Alice, what will be the value? First value is February data, then the 12th of January, then 5th of January. This way value will be ordered. Same way your total will get also change. Let me run this part. Okay, have you able to find out what is the difference? Yes or no? So let me solve this thing. What is this? Can you identify what was the thing that we are trying to solve here? You know the taste table. In taste table we have 1 to 10 data. So 1 to 10 data is inside my I column, and I want to perform a sum of what? Order by I means what? If I don't let me remove this thing and show you what was the value. Here what you can able to see, I am not providing any order criteria. So what they are doing, they are making a total of all the I. Okay, but I don't want this thing. I want a running total. So how can I do a running total? Without the order by I cannot create a running total. So write down the order by, and after the order by I need to provide which column I can use for making a running total. So I is the column on which I want to create a running total. Let me execute again. Yes, here this is the same result that is we have learned in a last lecture. With the help of cursor we have created this thing, but in a Windows function it is very simple. Now your next question is, can we use the Windows function for a factorial? Yes or no, ma'am? So do we have a inbuilt multiplication or a product as a function? No, we don't have that aggregate function. We have a count, as well as we have a average, but we don't have any function for a production. So we cannot use this Windows function for a factorial. If you want to create a factorial, you must use the cursor. Fine. Let me show you the average. This is the average value, and if I want to make a round of something, you use the inbuilt function name, that is round. Okay, let me run this line. Is calculated with the help of 1 to 10. So 1 to 10 are number given to you, and you have to find out the average. What will be the average? 5.5. And if I want to make a round of this value, it becomes 6. So likewise, you can use the function as a function based on your need. Now what is this? I already explained what is lag. Lag means the record that are a previous record. If I am at the 4th row, and what is the lag of I is 3. If I am at third record, and what is lag of I is 2. So I am doing what? I am making a I minus lag of I. So every place we have a difference of 1. So if I execute this line, what will give you the answer is, let me show you without the order by of I. What will happen without the order by of I? This is the same. And do I require order by I for creating a 1? Ideally we have this value which we are not missing any value, but in the case of some 5 value is missing. So how can I identify 5 value is missing? By using the 1 I minus a lag of I. What will happen if the difference is more than 1? It will be noted here, and you can easily identify any number is missed or not. Yes, so this is the sum of the application where we can use the lag function. I hope you understand this thing. Now jump to the query part. This is the thing that we have to solve. Let me start with the first problem. Read the first line. Rank each order by the amount. So what we have to do, I know the constraint that I need to order by with the amount. Here amount should be in a ascending order or descending order, because the highest rank will be given to whom? With the amount which are the most expensive. So what you have to do, you use the descending order. Yes or no? Fine. Now I explain what is order by. Now what is the specific partition if we require in a ranking or not? Yes, we require a partition, but its partition should be done with the help of what? Which column? Category column. Yes, so category rank is the first problem that we need to solve. Let me start with the creating a query. Select star, then I use a rank. Now whenever I'm doing a rank, I don't require to provide the column name, because when we are doing the sum or average everything, you require to provide some column name. In the last record, when I doing the row number or when I'm doing a rank function or a dense rank function, I'm not providing any argument inside this. Okay, because this R ranking will be happened with the help of order by. I use the order by score. That's why these are possible to create. I use the rank or a dense rank. Of course, we require a dense rank. So dense, and this is the line we have to write down. What else we have to use? I use the partition by, what is my column name? Category. And I require order by, yes or no? Yes, I require order by, and order will be happen on which column? Amount. And amount should be in ascending. By default it is ascending, but we require a descending, because we want to show you the first rank to the highest amount set. That's why I'm using the descending. Should I complete this? Yes. I want to label them as a rank. Okay. And it will be from which table? I have what is my table name is sales data. Okay, they are not allowing me to use this name. Should I use now? Okay, now they are allowing. Here you can see there are a cloth category. In a cloth category we have only one purchase, and that's why it is ranked as 1. Now in electrical we have a 1 2 3 4 5, total 5 value in electrical. So in a 5 record, what you have to do, you have to provide a rank 1 2 3 4 5, but here the first and second are having the same amount, so both are ranked as 1. So the 110 are ranked as 2, 800 rank as 3, and 450 as rank as 4. So this is the ranking given to the electrical category. Now what about the home category? In a home category we have a 2 purchase. So first purchase is 300, so it is ranked as 1, and 150 will be ranked as 2. So here we had complete our first problem. Yes, so this is the solution of my first problem. Let me solve the second problem. This is my first problem solution. Now what about second? Read the problem statement. We have to make a category average. Display the average amount of a category that the specific order belong to, allowing for a side-by-side comparison of a order versus average. Okay, what they are trying to provide is, they have an amount of every purchase, Now you also have to mention what are the average amount of that category. Okay, so what you have to show is in the cloth category we have a 85 as a average amount because we have only one value, so average of 85 is already 85, so 85 is your spend amount, and this is the category amount total average, that is 85. So likewise we have to create for electrical also. Consider electrical have a 100 as their average amount. So here when you are showing the purchase of this, also you have to mention that in this category the average of the electrical appliances amount is 100, that you have to mention here. Same way for a home, consider this true value R we have, so average is 200. So what you have to do, when you are showing the 300 and 150, you also need to show the 200. Why 200? 200 is the average amount that is spent in a home category. Let me solve this thing first. Now you know the average as the function. I'm using the average and I'm making average on what? I'm making average on amount, and it will be over of partition by category. Do I require some ordering in this case of average? No, I don't require a running total. I'm not doing for different, in the same category, do I need to display some different averages? No. For a same category, all the records should have the same data. So I don't require order by in this case. So I'm not using any order by. And let me use the label as a average amount of category. Whatever the name you want to provide, fine. From sales data. Right now whatever we are using can be used for creating a report generation or any specific task. So this is not only for a SQL query. This SQL query can be used in some programming modules that on specific button click you want to show this amount. So how can you do this thing? Yes, so there are the multiple ways you can extract a data. So this is the one of the application of it. So here you can see the value, but it is showing in a form of this. So I want to make a round off. So this way I can make a round and let me run. Okay, these are the value that in a clothing category 85 is the average amount, in a electrical 1310 is the average amount, in a home category the average is 226. So this will make your more understanding that I have purchased 450, but in my category the other user have used and that is around 1310. So my purchase is less than the average purchase in my specific category. So this way you can compare the specific different purchase order. Now jump to the third problem. What is the third problem? Running total. Calculate the cumulative sum of the amount for each username and order by the purchase date. Now calculate the cumulative. When I say cumulative is nothing but your running total, fine. You want to create a cumulative sum of the amount for each user. Now you are not doing the category based on your product category, but you are making a partition based on your username, fine. So specific user have purchased on, it will be done in a form of cumulative sum should be performed on based on your purchase date, fine. Let me do that part. Select star and then as I require a sum on amount and over what is the partition by, I partition by username, and here I require order by, yes or no? Yes, I require order by. When in the same category or in the same partition you require multiple record, you use the order by, fine. What is the name of my column is purchase date. Okay, and it will be from sales data. Here you can identify this is the column name purchase date. Let me run this line. This is the value. What be able to see is on the 5th of January Alice had purchased this amount. After this on 12th of January Alice had purchased for a 450. So total purchase done by the Alice till now is 2550. And after this Alice had purchased in a February for a 800. So till the January February total is 3350. So this way for a specific user we have to identify what was the cumulative total, and this is the one of the way. What was the fourth problem is identify the problem previous order difference. What is the previous order difference? Calculate the difference in amount between the current order and the customer's immediate preceding order. Better to I give this name as my column name, yes or no? So let me use this as my column name. I think you understand what was the question is. I'm using this as my, if I'm not using any space, then without a quotation I can also use this. Okay, here what should I do? First of all, I'm doing the same thing as we are doing here, yes or no? Do you think this is the same thing that we are using? Yes. So let me copy this part here, but here I'm not doing the sum. What I'm doing is I'm doing amount minus what is the leg previous means preceding order. Preceding means the next order, previous preceding means the last means leg. I use the leg and this is the value. Yes, so current total spend and the previous spend. So what I can identify, last time I had done for 100 but this time I'm doing the 500. So what I'm doing is I am making less than, I'm having decreased my purchase amount from 100 to 500. So what was the decrement is 500. So what should be the value is minus 500. This way I want to compare my current spend and the last spend. Fine. So do you think this will help in our scenario? Yes or no? Let me run this part. Okay, now the most important part is I don't want to compare my spend with the other user. So partition by username should be there, as well as it should be done in a form of purchase date. If I don't use the order by purchase date, then this will not be shown. Now what is the last problem? Read the last problem. Market share percentage. Calculate what the percentage this specific order amount contribute to the total revenue of the entire table. How can you do this thing? You know the percentage, yes? What you are doing is the amount that is right now divide by total amount. And whatever the fraction part is there, you want to multiply by the 100 to get the percentage value. Yes or no? Can I do this thing with the help of here? Yes. Because I am able to create a sum of this sum of amount. Identify what is the sum. First of all, let me identify what is the total sum that we are having from this entire table. This is the 7,000 total, and out of the 7,000, some of the record have. Can I do this thing? What do you think? Let me run this thing. No, they are showing the aggregate function cannot be used without the group by. When I'm doing the star, it will not allow. So what should I use? I use the over, but I'm not giving any criteria because I don't want to make any partition and all. So what should I do? I use the over clause without any parameter. Let me run again. Now they are showing something, but this is in a form of what we require. No, this is in a form of point and I required in a percentage. So what should I do? I need to multiply this result with the 100. Yes or no? Let me rerun again. Okay, these are the value that we are getting. Yes or no? This I require to use a round by here. This is the first bracket, this is the last bracket. Now they will show you the market share percentage. Let me label this column. Should I run this now? Yes. Now it is a final result that first purchase by the sales ID 1 having the market share percentage is 30, because this is the same amount as this also are contributing the 30% share. So if you make a total of all these things, it should be 100. Yes, I hope this will help you in understanding the Windows function. See you in a next video. Take a screenshot of this for your reference. Thank you. Bye bye. See you in a next video lecture.